Alcohol is used to celebrate team victories, toast weddings, and ring in the holidays. But over time, public opinion has changed concerning its use. Prohibition once outlawed buying and selling alcohol, but then was repealed. Decades later, the drinking age was lowered, then raised again. Many Americans use alcohol responsibly and are moderate drinkers, defined as 1 drink a day for women, 2 for men. But heavy drinking is a major public issue. Alcohol is involved in 1/3 of all motor vehicle accidents. On and off the highways, alcohol is a factor in 80,000 deaths annually. Binge drinking is common among college students, and while most people with other illnesses such as diabetes or high blood pressure get medical help, only 1 in 10 people addicted to alcohol or drugs get treatment. Alcohol is a legal beverage, but its misuse hurts people, costs our nation billions of dollars, and makes the public less safe. So, what can we do about excessive alcohol use? Each of the following options is a different approach, rooted in a deep concern identified by citizens themselves. These options were developed not by any political party or expert, but by talking to people throughout the country. This framework was developed by citizens for citizens, to use as a starting point in deliberating about how to respond. To address this problem, we'll all need to take responsibility and start behaving differently, from lawmakers to citizens, from our institutions to ourselves. We need to choose a strategy that protects what we care about most, but we also need to consider the drawbacks of any strategy to make sure we can live with its consequences. So, let's look at each of our options. Option 1. This option says we should protect those who could be hurt by excessive drinking. The most obvious examples are the victims of drunk driving, over 10,000 fatalities a year. We already have tough laws to punish people after they're caught for drunk driving, but this option favors doing more to prevent drunk driving and other dangerous behavior. So, how could we do that? What if the police could set up more random sobriety checkpoints to make people less inclined to drink and drive? Technology now exists that can keep drivers from starting the ignition to their car if they're too intoxicated. Some states already require this for people who've had DUIs, but what if insurance companies made the practice more uniform? And we can take away the keys of a friend who's had too much, and businesses could refuse to serve them. But the drawback to all of these actions is that they increase police and institutional scrutiny of what many believe is private behavior. It reduces the freedom of all, to some extent, to attempt to prevent bad behavior by a few. Could we live with that? Option 2. This option says that people with alcohol problems deserve help, not long waiting lists. One idea is to raise taxes on alcohol to pay for treatment so more people can recover. Others, particularly students who binge drink in high school or college, need outside intervention to stop. So, what if we ban discount drink prices at bars and find anyone who serves alcohol to minors? And because alcohol use during pregnancy is so dangerous, doctors could routinely test expectant women for the presence of alcohol in order to prevent fetal alcohol syndrome. But the drawback to all of these is that they depend upon the action of other people, not the person with the alcohol problem. We'd have to take some expensive and even intrusive actions in order to try to help people who may not be ready to accept help. Can we accept these trade-offs? Option 3. This option says that nothing will change unless we address society's overwhelmingly positive messages about alcohol because they ignore or minimize the downside of drinking. What if we ban television ads for alcohol, just as we banned tobacco ads more than 40 years ago? We could also raise taxes significantly on intoxicating products preferred by young people, such as Alka-Pops, inexpensive sweet beverages that are spiked with alcohol. But both these actions would mean major restrictions or costs on what are legal businesses. Or what if some of the millions of recovering alcoholics were to share their stories publicly, to show that it is possible to recover from addiction and live a successful, contented life without alcohol? But those recovering people could face negative consequences from their friends or even their employers, while the pressure to shed anonymity would keep some people from ever getting help. Can we live with these trade-offs? These three options are the starting point for our conversation. Each option is rooted in a particular concern of citizens, and each has real disadvantages. We need to weigh the trade-offs against what we hold valuable and make a decision everyone can live with. This isn't just a polite discussion, but work. The difficult, messy work of citizenship. So, let's get talking.